Hello and welcome to Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast, and let me explain to you why. There's a creation tool that's located within the Anchor app, which will allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. And then Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. That's also one of the perks of using Anchor. And then your podcast could be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from the podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need in one place, which is in the Anchor app. So if you want to get started, and again, it's totally free, then download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Hello and welcome to Life as It Is with me, Dora Middleton. In today's segment, I would like to talk about politics. I know it's a subject that most don't like to talk about because it might make them a little bit uncomfortable. But I'm going to talk about the subject because I think it needs to be talked about. And it seems like the past few years or so, this country that we are living in has become even more divided due to race. And I know in a couple of my past segments, I've spoken about racism. But in this segment, I kind of want to touch base on what's going on here. Why has everyone allowed this to separate them? You have friends that's been friends for 30 and 40 years that's now enemies. They literally hate each other because of what's going on in the world today. Because of who they might have voted for or because of who they didn't vote for. It seems as if no one has a right to their own opinion anymore. No one gives anyone the space to be their own person. If you can't agree on something, if there's a subject basically that you all can't agree on and you've been friends and you've been fine all the way up until this point, then don't talk about it. Just agree to disagree and don't talk about it. Stop allowing what's going on in this world today to break up happy friendships and even happy homes. I mean, you might have one spouse that's a Democrat. You may have the other spouse that's a Republican. And even they are allowing what's going on to come into that relationship. Why is it that we as people cannot keep certain situations out of our personal lives? Why is it that we have to find a reason to hate one another or to argue over something? It should be to the point, here it is, 2019 going into 2020. Why is it that we can't talk about a subject, be calm about it, and give everyone a chance to express what they are feeling? Why is it that it's now either you see things my way or I don't give a damn what you say or think about anything? That's not right. We all have the ability to voice our own opinions on whatever it is. I mean, I have friends, I don't agree with some of the things that they've said. I don't agree with some of the things that they do, but one thing about me is I'm going to allow them to express what they feel about the subject. Okay. And I'm not going to argue with them because they don't see things the way I see it. That's their way of seeing the situation. I can't change that, nor do I try to change it. And if they insist on thinking I'm going to argue about it, that's when I pull the plug on it. And what I mean by pull the plug If I have to walk away from that friendship because you're that ignorant and you think that I'm going to stoop that low and argue with you over why I feel the way that I feel, or why I voted this way, or why I felt I did this or that, this way or that way, then I don't need you in my life. Let me be me. Step back and let me be me. I'm not trying to control you, so don't try to control me. If everyone in this world just allowed everyone to their own opinions, stop getting hostile when it's a conversation. And that's another thing that I understand that people do. When people are trying to discuss a certain situation, and because you can't agree on that situation, then people start saying, oh, well, he or she is being hostile. Why are you so hostile? Why are they being hostile? How are they being hostile if they're just expressing how they feel? Because you feel they're saying something wrong and you don't agree with it, all of a sudden they've become hostile in your eyes. They're not hostile. They're just voicing their opinion, which is their right to do so. Hello and welcome back to Life as It Is with me, Dora Middleton. In today's segment, I've been talking about politics and how it's divided families, how it's divided friendships. And before I took my break, I was talking about how since people have such a problem allowing others to basically express their own views, it's gotten a lot of people into different arguments, fights, physically as well as verbally, because no one wants to allow the next person to think for themselves. Everyone wants to tell everyone how they should feel about a certain situation or a certain politician. And so everyone's being very hostile and angry toward each other. I mean, it's not just family and friends, it's strangers, of course. And it's really getting out of hand. I think that in today's society, we have got to allow each other to express how we feel about a certain situation and not basically try to tell the next person how they are supposed to do things or how they are supposed to think. I feel that lately people basically have decided that they don't care if the person is right for the position. I think a lot of what's going on is people are voting a certain way due to race, and that's not good. You shouldn't vote for a certain person just because they're white. You shouldn't vote for a person just because they're black or Hispanic or any other race. You should vote for a person if they are the best one for the position. And I think that everyone has allowed their minds to be cloudy and they're making the wrong decisions. And they're basically sending this country to hell, okay? Because at the way everyone's going and the rate everything's happening, it's like nothing is going right in this country. And it's sad. People are even more violent. People are coming up missing frequently. I mean, not that it wasn't like that before, but now it's even worse. You have people killing people over nothing. It's no longer where, okay, this person might have been killed due to self-defense. No, if people don't like the way you look these days, they might kill you. It's like we are living in such trying times right now. You're afraid to walk out of your door. And that's because everybody seems to be angry about something or another. And until everyone decides that this isn't the way that things should be going, it's not going to get any better. It's only going to get worse. We as parents are afraid for our children to be outside. You know, you're afraid for them to be in the school. You don't know who's going through some kind of emotional breakdown to where they might decide to go into school and harm children or adults or anyone else in the school. And it's just not schools. You have people so filled with anger, they're going into clubs, bars, you name it. And they are committing these harsh crimes. They're killing people, not one, not two, but just too many, okay? Just too many people. It's almost like right now, it seems as if life doesn't mean anything to anyone anymore. It has no value. People are just killing at the drop of a dime. Like it's the thing to do right now. And it's a scary thought. And I know we can all just continue to stress to everyone, if you want things to change in this world, you go out and you vote. Yes, this is what people like myself, what we do is we try to tell people, if you want changes, then you have to be a part of the change. Get out and vote. But not only that, vote the right way. Don't just vote for someone because they have matching skin color, okay? Because they're the same race as you. Vote for them because they are the best one for the job. But until we stop putting people in these offices that have these hidden agendas and that does not care about anyone or anything but themselves and only about getting power, nothing will ever go right for anybody in this world, because you cannot continue to tangle with the devil, is the way I say it, or how I feel about it. And when I say the devil, I mean power. Everyone wants power. Everyone wants things just to go their way. No one's stopping and listening to each other. So how is this world going to get better if no one sees that there's a problem? You have one set of people over here that feels this is a problem, this needs to change, something has to, something right here really needs to change. And then you have these set of people over here that feels everything is okay. There's no racism, there's no bias situations taking place, there's no racial profiling, there's nothing. They don't see anything. They don't see a problem with anything that's going on in this world. And until we get the right politicians in these offices that actually care about the people that's in this world today, nothing's going to change. It's only going to get worse. But if we keep continuing to put these same exact type of people in these positions when they become available, then we're setting ourselves up for failure. And I know when I cast my vote, I refuse to vote for a certain person just because of how they look. Okay? That's not me. I am going to vote for the right person because they are right for the job. And I'm not going to sit around and just complain and argue with anyone over their views. Have your views. Your views belong to you, just like my views belong to me. I am not going to allow anyone to push me to vote a certain way. And I'm not going to allow anyone to make me feel bad about the way that I vote. We need to get out here and make changes in this world. We need to get out here and do something so that this world will be at peace again. Because right now, it's nothing peaceful about the world that we are living in today. When you turn on your television and all you ever hear about is murder, that's a problem. No one cares anymore. You're finding all these bodies everywhere. You don't know. People are doing these murder suicides. They're killing their whole family. They're killing their children, their wives, their husbands. This has got to stop. Everyone is angry because some people they're losing jobs. Some people can't afford to take care of their families. So they're getting out. They're getting angry. They're bringing harm onto others when they go out and they decide to rob others for what they've worked for. But like I said, if we expect for any of this to change, we need to be a part of this change. How can we expect anything better if we're not making an effort to make a change? We just can't sit back and complain. We cannot just say, well, this is not right. They're doing this for this set of people and they're not doing anything for this set of people. You can talk, you can argue, you can do whatever you want. That's not going to change anything. But until you make your voice heard, and that's by casting your ballot and voting for the correct person that you need to vote for, things will be at a standstill. And I believe that if we continue no matter what, to just continue and talk to everyone and let them know that their vote matters, then maybe we will be able to get somewhere. Because everyone's vote matters. I can't recall how many times I've had a person tell me, oh, I don't vote because my vote doesn't matter. It may be your one vote to give the right person what they need to win their position, okay? So your vote always matters, no matter what. And as I stated before, families need to stop and friends need to stop and think about what they're doing. Don't bring the drama into your personal life. Don't allow the racism that's going on within this country ruin your families, ruin your friendships. We all know that there's a lot of corrupt politicians out there. But we all should also know that until we vote them out, nothing will ever change. So we need to make a decision on what we are going to do. We need to make a decision on how we are going to vote these people out of office if they're not doing their jobs. Okay? And I know that I've done several segments on the same thing. And that's because every time I do a segment on this, I end up having a conversation with someone and we talk about everything that I've just talked about in this segment. That this country needs a change. It's at this point, it just seems like anything goes. It's like a circus. It's like a circus, and we are all a part of the show right now. And I know that I'm trying to be a part of the change. That's why no matter what happens, I am there in line to vote. Okay? Because I want my vote to count. I am not going to sit back and complain about everything, but don't do anything to change anything. That right there, I do not like that right there. I don't like when people complain constantly, nonstop, about how things are going, but they aren't making an effort to try to change it. If you don't like a certain situation, then change it. Don't just sit back and make a bunch of noise about it. Make a change. Okay? Well, I have enjoyed talking with you all in this segment. I just really wanted to talk about politics and how it is affecting families and friends. So I really wanted to go back into this conversation a little bit more. But all I'm asking is for whomever might be out there to listen to this segment and understand where I'm coming from. Everyone just needs to remove their anger out of the situation and just do the right thing. Do what's right for them. Do what's right for their family. Do what's right for this whole entire country. Well, until next time, again, I would like to thank you for joining me, Dora Middleton, in this segment of Life as It Is. And I'll talk to you later.